Okay, today we are going to go over some examples of a Slovakian accent and some of the differences that they produce when they're speaking versus the standard American accent. I had someone request some videos on the Slovakian accent a few months ago, and I'm just barely getting around to it, so I apologize for that. But these language samples are from a really cool website called the International Dialects of English Archive, or IDEA. And they have all sorts of samples of different accents from people all over the world. So I highly recommend it. And let's see. I'm just going to play this first example here. There's going to be three samples, three people, and they have very different accents. They have different histories and different experiences and number of years speaking English, so that probably accounts for that. But here's the first one who has the mildest accent.
This recording, Slovakia 3, is copyright the International Dialects of English Archive. Karma Gets a Cure is copyright Douglas N. Honorath, Jill McCullough, and Barbara Somerville.
Well, here's a story for you. Sarah Perry was a veterinary nurse who had been working daily at an old zoo in a deserted district of the territory, so she was very happy to start a new job at a superb private practice in North Square near the Duke Street Tower.
Okay, so as you can hear, her American accent is pretty good, especially her prosody. Her rhythm and her ups and downs, her intonation is all pretty good. The only errors, or if you want to call them errors, the only differences that I found were her pronunciation of district. I didn't hear that final T at all. It was more like district. You got to get that tongue moving forward to the teeth to kind of get that, even if it's really soft. District, district. And then superb, we say superb, her superb private practice, and I heard subperb, and I think she added like another B in there, subperb, instead of superb, superb. And then there was a D instead of a TH when she said the word the. She said da instead of the. That's a very common error in all accents, really, people from all different countries. But so we want the Duke Street Tower instead of da. Okay, let's listen to the next one. This is a gentleman with a stronger accent. Here we go.
Here is a story for you. Sarah Perry was a veterinary nurse who had been working daily at the old zoo in a deserted district of the territory. So she was very happy to start a new job at a superb private practice in North Square, picked up her kid, and headed for work.
Okay, so I skipped some of the middle of the text there to just show some of the examples that he was doing. But so his prosody was not quite as good as the first one, right? His rhythm wasn't quite as American sounding, a little more jilted. And let's see, I heard the word was, it was okay, but his Z kind of turned into an S at the end. Was, like that. Just try to keep your Z's. Was. But that's very minor. The thing that was most noticeable was his pronunciation of veterinary nurse. I heard veterinary noose. So I kind of skipped some of the sounds or switched them around in veterinary. And then nurse, instead of getting that good vocalic ER, it sounded more like an or an oo, noose. So it should be nurse with the tongue going back and up. Veterinary nurse. Oh, he got the right sounds for superb, but he stressed the first syllable instead of the second. So it was superb, which kind of sounds like super. I almost expected him to say supermarket or something, but no, what he meant to say is superb. And then that last sentence, I put it in because of his pronunciation of the word work. when she picked up her kit and headed for work. It sounded like that W was distorted almost to the point of sounding like an L. Headed for lurk. It almost sounded like headed for lurk with an L instead of a W. So that W, lips come together, work, work. So that was the second sample. Let's try the third one, playing that one now.
Well, here is a story for you. Sarah Perry was a veterinary nurse who had been working daily at an old zoo in the 3rd district of the territory, so she was very happy to start a new job and superb private practice in North Square near the Duke Street Tower. That area was much nearer for her and more to her liking.
Okay, so her accent in some ways was the strongest, and mainly because of her pronunciation of R's. She tends to roll all those R's, and we really don't do that in American English. It's fun though, like rrr, very fun, but we don't do it. So our R's, your tongue goes back, and it's more of a smooth sound. But like when she does her R's, Veterinary, or let's see, what's another one she does? Anyway, all of them, very, very. She rolls all those R's, and you can really hear it. Let's see. So another one, I heard her say uke instead of duke straight. It sounded like a Y instead of that D. It should be a D, duke straight. And then her pronunciation of her, like that's her, whatever it is, her belongings. It almost sounded like hair. So air. It sounded like hair instead of her. Tongue goes straight back for and then to her liking, it kind of sounded like either licking or leaking. To her leaking, licking, but it needs to be liking. It's a long I. Liking, I, liking. Wasn't or was to her liking. Okay, so those are the examples I have for you today. I'll make another video soon about all the different common sounds or mispronunciations you might hear in someone with a Slovakian accent. But for today, just these 3 examples, kind of fun. Check out that website. It's very cool. And if you liked it, please subscribe, and please visit my website for more information if you like. www.clarityaccent.com. Thanks.